Hey, it's been a few months. If this is the first time you're seeing me, then I take it you're not following me on Instagram or Twitter or the Tailosive Tech podcast, other places I've been very much active. And I'm also very much aware that a lot of you who are watching this right now aren't my usual audience. But I felt like right now is a good time to make this video. There's one thing that I've learned from my previous video is that you never know who's watching. And I became a little bit more aware once I had very high profile people in the tech community reach out to me. People that you know, people that are international names. So yeah, I kind of drew a lot of attention. And I know what everybody's been waiting for is this video. They're waiting to see what am I going to say next. Again, if you're not following me on Twitter or Instagram or the podcast channel or the Tesla channel, this is the first time you're getting a proper update. But if you are following me elsewhere, then you know what it is. Nothing's changing. This is where I'm at. You like my current setup, by the way? This is kind of improv. This is how I record for the podcast and stuff like that. I am going through a redesign with my set here, but there's a lot of moving parts that's happening. So, again, this is the current layout. So I just want to do some in-house cleanup, so to say, just to bring everyone up to speed on all media fronts. You know where I'm at. To get it out of the way, yes, I have been paid. So that part's done. It's been exactly 2 months and 1 day since my last video, and Juan has not been paid still. We will get to Juan in a little bit. I'm just giving you updates. My life went on, as did everybody else's, right? Keynotes were had or Apple events, and the pandemic is still the pandemic. We had an election just last week. Life carries on. Updates on my end. Since my last video, my wife has joined the military. If you don't know my background, I am a prior Marine Corps active duty. I served for 4 years from 2008 to 2012. And so I know this lifestyle. But now I'm about to be the spouse of a military service member. So that's changed. And she's leaving next Monday, this coming Monday, actually. It's literal hours away now. It doesn't feel like weeks or months. Now it's hours. So there's changes that's going to be happening on my side here. And one of the main ones is that I am going to be stepping down from my contracting job that I do. Again, if you don't know, outside of all this and the tech and EV space that I fill, or the music or anything else like that, I have been a contractor for the Navy pretty much in some capacity since I left active duty. But this now opened up an opportunity where I can step down from that position because we will be moving, and I'm going to use that time and all my resources that I have to focus on this channel, the podcasts that I do with Drew and Nick, the Tailosive Tech podcast, the Tesla Experience channel, and I'm also going to continue working on music. So yeah, I'm going full time, and I'm really excited to hit the ground running when that does happen. But it's also bittersweet because San Diego has been my home, and you know, I'm from San Diego, and the only time I ever left was when I was really, really young, and then also when I was in the military. But much like everything else that's trendy right now, I too am going to be leaving California. But that will be months from now. For the time being, this setup will still be the same. And so going forward, most videos that I make in this environment, you'll be familiar with. One thing that I want to cover is that, as I stated in a very open post that I put on my on my channel here, in the community tab, and what I put on Twitter is that I'm moving on from what people are expecting from me regarding my last video and stuff like that. I haven't let go of everything. Again, Juan has not been paid, but I'm moving on from that. My identity should not be wrapped around that, but not everything has been made right yet, so I'm not letting that part go. Throughout the last 2 months, people have taken jabs at me, and people have, poked fun at me at their expense and stuff like that, which is fine, because again, I'm moving on. Everything else is still I'm doing just fine. And, if having me in the discussion makes somebody else relevant, do what you got to do. But that's not what I'm about. That's not what I want to be identified as. This is not a drama channel. So for all the people who subscribed, if you think I'm just going to keep dishing out more stuff, I'm not. However, I am going to continue to try to make things right. And as I've stated, I'm not the only one who's been affected by this. So when it comes to Juan, I spoke to him before making this video just to verify, and he still has not been paid, and it's been a year. So I decided to try to do something. I've never been one for like Patreon or fundraisers, so to say, because I just don't feel like I don't know how to make it unique. But what I think I can do is try to make something that has bigger value than the product itself. So what I went ahead and did is I started making shirts. Currently using Teespring, and I have been accepted for the Cotton Bureau, the same company that is doing like MKBHDs and Jonathan Morrison's shirts and stuff like that. They have stuff right there. They've taken my design as well. What I started with a series, I'm going to make a certain series and stuff. And the first one I'm making is starting with the People Behind series. And the first shirt that I made is called the Silent Hustlers. And this shirt is 100% dedicated to Juan. And people like him. But I made this, I'm starting this campaign for him. This is going to be a limited, this particular one is a limited run. So if you're interested in collector's items and stuff like that, this shirt is going to be the first one. I got another one in the works, so I will be making another video going over more of the series once I got the other shirt in hand. But yeah, the Silent Hustlers, this is dedicated to the Silent Hustlers. Silent Hustlers is the concept I came up with when I think about a brand, and I think about my involvement with brands and identities. It's bigger and more than just a single person or entity. There's a lot of behind the scenes that happens. And most of those people, if not all those people, sometimes in particular categories, are faceless or voiceless. And this shirt is dedicated to all of you. My interactions with a lot of you over the last 2 months is that you connect with me, that we're not so different. And just because you might not be a face of a YouTube channel or a Twitch stream or a podcast or a network doesn't make you any less relevant. So what I'm going to do with every sale of this shirt and another shirt when I drop it is for every profit, every dollar that I make that's profit, I'm going to send that money to Juan until he's made whole. However long that takes. I'm not going to pocket a penny. As I've always said, it's not about the money. For me, I don't need it. But Juan, I've got to know him over the course of all this, and he's a great guy. And he's voiceless. I'm not. Okay, so this is where my focus will be when it comes to my campaign. So if you want to contribute, there will be a link in the description of the Teespring one. I don't think I'll put the Cotton Bureau one up just yet, but this is what it is. It comes in different colors and stuff like that, but you get the point. I'm going to increase that series with a couple more shirts, and every profit that I make, every dollar of profit is going to go to Juan until he's made full. So it's not a Patreon. It's not a GoFundMe. It's just doing something cool for somebody in the community, and maybe if you want to get a limited edition collector's item out of it. And this one and a few other ones If it's something that's up your alley, I will give mine away. And if you want if you want me to sign it or whatever, I mean, we'll work out all the specifics of that later. But again, this is all, for lack of a better word, like a charity of sorts. And I will be transparent with everything, and I will post all my and any of the data from Teespring with it, and you'll see. Juan, here's to hoping you're taken care of. And to anybody who contributes to this, you have my personal and sincerest gratitude, and I thank you so much for it. Lastly, what I want to go over is the moving forward part of everything, because my identity, again, is not wrapped around just one event or one circumstance. Okay, music will continue, especially now that I'm about to become, unemployed, or I'm going to step down as a W-2 type of employee to continue focusing on my 1099 contractor one, because I have a business license under my company that I created, which I never said out loud. It's called New Realm Media. I have podcasts that are out everywhere. This channel falls under it. The Tesla Experience falls under it. It's a co-partnership with the podcast, the Tailosive Tech podcast and EV podcast. So I'm going to be focusing all my time on that. And for this particular channel, which it is an artist page, I'm going to be doing artist things. So if that interests you, stick around. If you want other more specific life updates, I mean, stick around. But otherwise, I'm just trying to cut the fat off this steak here. And I'm not trying to hold on to extra people who are expecting anything else. I'm just here to entertain and have a good time. Very shortly after this video now going published, I will be putting out more regular content. I'm still working a full-time job, but as the transition happens, you will be seeing more regular content from here and from the Tesla channel, and then growth shall happen, or at least entertainment on my end. To everybody who has given me the shower of support, I sincerely thank you for your support. Within the last 2 months, I've been extremely busy. And if you're following me, you know this. So, I mean, if you want to keep up with me and you only know me from this medium, I'm going to put all the relevant links to stuff that you would be interested in down below. But I've been busy and life's been good. On the personal front, my life is changing. My wife's life is changing, and I'm excited for that. It's an opportunity for better outcomes and growth and everything on the work front and personal life stuff. And I'm trying to find a positive through this pandemic. I'm ready to make more content. I've already started filming on some other stuff that's not like a same-day turnaround like this, that requires like a lot of pre-production stuff. And I'm ready to release, more music that has to do with the quarantine album that I made, that has to do with new music along the way. But it felt weird if I was to just make all that stuff and not just do a proper follow-up here. So this is your follow-up. It's probably the last time I'm going to do a video like this. And until then, I will catch you guys later. Take care. Stay safe. And until then.